They say giants are just myths. But what if the myths were memories, and we were never the first rulers of this world? Because long before kings and empires, something else walked the earth. And it didn't walk alone. You wake up to a sound that isn't thunder. It's footsteps. The ground shakes beneath you, steady, rhythmic, alive. Dust falls from the ceiling. The air hums heavy with something ancient. You rush outside, and the sunlight vanishes. Not from clouds, but from a shadow. A single figure stands on the horizon. So tall its head disappears into the sky. Every step it takes sends waves through the earth, each one pounding like a heartbeat older than time itself. And then the truth hits you. This isn't a dream. This isn't the future. This is the past returning. Because long before humans ruled the world, there was another age, when giants walked the earth. The Nephilim of the Bible, the Titans of Greece, the Fomorians of Celtic legend. They weren't heroes. They were hunters. And humanity was the prey. And when they returned, no one was ready to face them again. Have you ever seen a shadow so big, it swallows the sky? The ground trembles. A deep rumble moves through the soil, steady, heavy, alive. You look toward the horizon, and see them. Enormous shapes moving slowly through the mist. Every step shakes the earth like a drumbeat from another world. Their voices roll across the land, deep, thunderous, endless. You run. But where can you hide in a world made for them? No wall, no cave, no mountain is small enough to protect you. Ancient texts spoke of their kind, children of fallen angels and human women, born of forbidden unions. Not men, not gods, abominations. They stood over 9,000 feet tall, their eyes like burning stars, their breath like storms. And as they walked, the world bent beneath their weight. You realize now, this is not creation. This is corruption made flesh. And when their hunger began, the age of terror truly started. What happens when creatures that size start to get hungry? At first they fed on everything the earth could give. Forests vanished. Rivers turned silent. The fields that once fed nations were gone in days. Then, their eyes turned to us. You see one bend down, slow, deliberate, and lift a man the way you'd lift a pebble. A single scream cuts through the air. Then only silence, and a shadow swallowing the ground. The Book of Enoch warned about this moment. They consumed all the acquisitions of men. Nothing was enough for them. Not food. Not power. Not even flesh could satisfy what they had become. Villages burned and prayers went unanswered. No walls could stop them. No gods answered fast enough. The world was theirs now. And you were only what came next on their table. And yet, you still must survive, somehow. How do you survive in a world that was never made for you? Survival is impossible in a world made for gods. You walk through ruins that once touched the clouds. Cities built by hands the size of towers. Doors rise like cliffs. Stairs stand taller than houses. Each stone feels alive, humming with the memory of giants. You wander through the empty halls of Baalbek, the standing stones of Stonehenge, the flawless carvings of Puma Punku. Now you understand humans didn't build these places. They only inherited the leftovers of something far greater. Every wall, every broken monument whispers the same truth. This world was never yours. You search for food, but the crops are crushed into dust. You search for water, but the wells are too deep to reach. Even survival feels like a sin in a world this large. You were never meant to live here. You were meant to disappear. But soon, you'll realize that hunger isn't your worst enemy. What happens when gods grow bored? You wake to a sound that freezes your blood. Laughter. Not human laughter, but deep, echoing thunder rolling through the valleys. It shakes the mountains, bounces off the ruins, and fills the air with dread. They're not hunting today. They're playing. From a distance you see them, throwing boulders the size of towers, smiling as they crash into the earth below. Every explosion of dust makes them laugh harder. You hide among the ruins, but one looks down. A shadow falls over you, wide as a field. Then a hand descends, massive, careless, cruel. It moves slowly, almost playfully, as if deciding whether to crush or to toy with you. You realize something far worse than fear. You're no longer prey. You're entertainment. Your screams mean nothing. Your pain is part of the game. And every desperate sound from the humans below only makes their laughter louder. But even laughter can hide something darker: corruption. What if death wasn't the worst thing they could give you? Some giants didn't kill you, they corrupted you. They came not with weapons but with gifts. Gifts that burned brighter than fire and darker than sin. They were called the Watchers. And they taught humans what no one was meant to know: the making of weapons, the craft of enchantment, and the art of seduction. At first their knowledge felt divine. Metal bent at your command. The stars revealed their secrets. Power became easy and addictive. But every lesson came with a price. The more humans learned, the more they changed. Their hearts hardened. Their minds darkened. They began to love power more than life itself. You realize now, the giants didn't just destroy bodies. They infected souls. They planted poison in the human spirit, a hunger that would never die. From that moment, humanity was never the same. The world itself began to twist and groan under their shadow. And the world itself began to rebel against them. What kind of beings could command the earth itself? When they built, the earth obeyed. The giants held power that defied every law of nature. They could lift mountains as easily as you lift a stone. They shaped rivers, carved valleys, and made the wind their servant. In Peru, stones at Sacsayhuaman locked together so tightly. Not even a blade can fit between them. In Japan, legends tell of demons who could move mountains. And in Lebanon, the temples of Baalbek rest on stones so massive that modern machines can't even lift them. You hide among the ruins, watching in silence, as enormous blocks of stone float through the air, guided by unseen hands. The sky darkens. The ground bends. It's as if the world itself has surrendered to their will. They weren't building monuments. They were rewriting creation itself. Each structure, each tower was a message. We are the new gods. But even gods can go too far. And the Creator finally decided, enough. How long can a world survive under the weight of its own corruption? When the world could take no more, the sky opened. The first drops fell soft as tears. Then came the storm. Rain turned to rivers. Rivers turned to oceans. And the oceans began to rise. The flood had begun. Water fell like vengeance, cold and endless. The giants roared in rage as their empires vanished beneath the waves. Temples cracked. Mountains broke. Their cities, once taller than clouds, were now nothing but foam and silence. For a brief moment you think it's over, that maybe humanity will finally be free. But then you see the truth. Salvation and destruction have become the same thing. You cling to a shattered piece of wood, watching lightning tear the sky apart. The screams fade. The thunder softens. And for the first time the world is quiet. Too quiet. You have survived, but only just. Because even as the waters calm, you feel it, deep beneath the waves. The giant's shadows still move. And the giant's shadows will rise again. Did you really think the flood washed them all away? The storm ended, but not the nightmare. Generations passed. The waters fell. Humanity rebuilt its cities, planted its crops, and slowly forgot the terror that once ruled the earth. But evil doesn't die. It waits. And then the old shadows returned. The same towering shapes, the same trembling earth. The same feeling in your chest, that you are too small to matter. The scriptures warned us. Numbers 13:33 says, "We saw the Nephilim there, and we looked like grasshoppers in our own eyes." The giants were back. Not legends. Not myths. They were survivors of the flood, angry, stronger, and unbroken. History repeated itself. Humanity grew, forgot, and fell again. The same cycle: creation, corruption, destruction. Turning forever like a curse written into time itself. You understand now. The age of giants never truly ended. It only sleeps beneath the surface of the world. And when they wake, we will remember fear. We think we rule the earth. But maybe we're just waiting our turn. Modern humans live in comfort. Cities glowing, machines humming, skies filled with light. We believe we've mastered the world. We laugh at old myths and call them stories. But the ancients didn't carve legends. They carved warnings. Across every land the message is the same. In temples, on mountains, in sacred books, the same whisper echoes through time. They will return. We've forgotten what fear feels like. We've forgotten the tremor of the ground, the roar that made the sky shake, the silence that followed when humanity went still. In the age of giants, ignorance meant extinction. And today, our ignorance has returned. We dig into the past and call it history, never realizing that history might just be sleeping, waiting for its next awakening. So the question isn't if they existed. The question is, are they coming back? Because every ancient prophecy, every forgotten stone, every whisper from the old world, points to one chilling truth. Keep your eyes open. Because the age of giants might not be history, might be a countdown.